What is up, my children, my babies, my lovelies? We're back again with another episode, another video, another whatever you want to call it, child. Whatever you want to call it, however you want to listen to it, is what we're back with. Okay, I am so excited because we are on episode 3. All right, episode 3 of Child Please a Mother's Diary. And this episode, y'all, we about to get into some things, honey, because we about to get real. Like, this is real life, real deal updates. Moving on with my life, but also to y'all coming in and y'all telling me about y'all lives as well too. So, girl, we just trying to figure life out together. It's already so much going on in this world right now. So, whatever we could do to figure out life together, we gonna do it, and we gonna do it right. Okay. First up, toast up to that one. We already toasting up, and we already we 1 minute in. And we already first up toasting up. That's how you know we got a lot going on. First up, toast up. Clink. Okay, y'all. I hope y'all have been having a great, amazing, prosperous week and year so far, y'all. We're about to close out the year already. Can y'all just believe how fast it's been going? It's been so much going on. I'm like, dang, can I get a breather? I just need 2 seconds to breathe, please, if we can. Okay. The year has been going like Speedy Gonzalez. Like, it's just been so much going on. But y'all, in the midst of so much going on throughout this year, I'm not even gonna lie, I've been learning so many things about myself. So many things that I've been having to really put into actions, you know, really just holding myself accountable this entire year. And honestly, if I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but this 2025 year, I've always promised myself when I was little, I was like, when I turn 25, I'm gonna be famous. And when I turn 25, I'm gonna have all this and this together. When I turn 25, it's gonna be my year, 2025, 2025. And I'm not gonna lie, I put a lot of expectations on 2025. Okay. 2025 has gone by so fast, girl. I can't even spell fame. Okay. I'm not even nowhere near that. But you know what? I have just had like a realization that like the reason why things have not taken off for me this 2025 is because there's a lot of things that God is trying to prepare me for. And I finally, when I turn 25, am able to realize that and accept that and actually work on that. And to be honest, that's successful enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm being able to be in the right headspace for where I need to be. Okay. And so this episode is so special to me because I feel like it's talking to my past self. And now it's like my new self trying to work on that. Okay. So I know a lot of my children, y'all have reached out to me and y'all told me that y'all relate to me so much in these ways. So let's get into some things, honey, because we holding ourselves accountable and we're getting ourselves together. So basically, y'all, we just about to get into some things, honey. And what this episode is about is called Call Me Cutoff Queen. Go ahead and just call me Cutoff Queen. You don't even gotta call me Jaya no more. I don't even go by the name anymore, honey. Call me Cutoff Queen. Cause I'm quick. I don't play. I don't play. But let me tell you something. I've had to learn there's a lot of things that come with being a cutoff queen, honey. And what am I really running from? Why am I always so quick to cut somebody off? Like, what's really going on? You know what I mean? And honestly, y'all can tell it's real growth in me because I'm telling you right now, I would have never questioned myself about a cutoff, honey. Once you're cut, you're cut. You're done. Once you're cut, you're cut. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, baby. You're out of here. You're a goner. You're a dunzo. And I'd never look back at it. But then I had to really realize, like, what am I really running from? Like, why do I feel the need to always cut something off when something goes wrong? What am I really getting out of it? Do I really feel fulfilled? Do I really feel like, I'm ready to be doing this all on my own? Why do I feel like I always got to come together to, fix the pieces? Why am I always surrounding myself around people that I consistently have to cut off? Or not even consistently, but like I feel the need to want to cut off instead of actually working on something or seeing it progress. What am I blocking? What am I running away from? What am I trying to avoid? And I really realized that being a cutoff queen, honey, it may be cute and you might be trying to protect your peace or do this, that, that, that. But what you really are doing, you're It's avoiding attachment. It's anxious attachment. Oh, honey, it's all the above. So y'all, let's get into some things. Go ahead and get your wine, get your drink, get your food, get whatever you finna eat on, sip on, cause ciao. Okay, y'all. So boom. Let me tell y'all something. I am like when I tell y'all this is not just me trying to make an episode to make an episode. Like y'all, I have a serious problem with just cutting people off. And luckily now where I'm at, I'm able to say it's a problem. But baby, back then, let me tell y'all something. Anything anybody ever did to me, you were getting cut, and it was just like I was doing it left to right, and I never looked back. Baby, let me tell you, okay? Listen, you can you waste my time one good time, you're done. You say one thing wrong one more time, you're done. That tone, let that tone get high one more time, you're out. You're a goner. I was listen, it was a real strict. I run a real strict program. And it's crazy because I just did it so much that I didn't even really realize I was doing it sometimes. I was just like, oh, okay, it's like that. You feeling like that? You're done. Or sometimes I'll even feel the need to want to match your energy and then cut you off, give you a little something, then let you loose. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, y'all, like I was running rampant, baby. I was cutting here, cutting there, cutting everywhere. Cutting everywhere. Like, y'all, what I'm saying, it's so funny because as I'm saying this little cut thing, I'm thinking about that little Cutwater song. I don't know if y'all know that little Cutwater song. It just randomly played on my YouTube shuffle the other day, and I was like, this is so ghetto, yet so catchy. In so many ways. But I'm just keep thinking about cut, 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 cut. But anyways, that's how I was, y'all. Cut it, like cut it, no OT Genesis, baby. I just was running rampant. Okay. And it's so crazy because I did it so much. Like I said, I didn't even realize that I was doing it. But also too, I did it to the point where it's like, at first it started off as protecting my peace. It started off as in, I'm not going to let anybody play with me. I'm not going to let anybody take me for granted. This is not just in relationships, y'all. This is friendships as well too. Like any friend that I feel like, was wasting my time, or I feel like was, doing all these things, I was immediately like, I'm not going to let them do this to me. So they're done. You know what I mean? And like, it started off as protecting my peace, until it started to get to a point where I just was like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm also not getting peace on the back end because I'm never seeing anything through. I'm never seeing what something could work. I'm never seeing the work into what it could actually progress to be because I'm so quick to try to protect my peace. But it's like, what peace am I really giving myself if I'm always feeling like I got to pick up the pieces on my own? Do I really have peace in that? Like, because I know deep down that I don't want to do it all on my own. I know for a fact that I don't want to feel this way, or I don't want to feel like, whatever, it's me against the world. Like, girl, no, I would actually want to battle this crazy world we live in with somebody. You know what I mean? And again, this is not even just in a relationship. This is just in general. Okay? God didn't put us in this earth to do anything by ourselves and alone. Like, that's what we need companions for. That's what we need support systems for. That's what we need these things for. And also too, people make mistakes. People do things that are not perfect, you know what I mean? And it's all about just understanding that and moving forward with that. But also too, just understanding too, you know what I mean, that just because somebody makes just because somebody may drop the ball here and there doesn't mean that it's personally to you all the time, unless it's being done consistently to the point where you feel like it's affecting you. But if it's just a once in a lifetime thing or a couple of times, and you're just immediately so quick to cut, you have to realize, what am I doing? What am I getting out of this? Let me tell y'all where this episode really came from. So boom. y'all about to get in my business, but y'all know I told y'all I was gonna be more vulnerable. So I'm gonna let y'all in the business, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all in. But I'm gonna need a little step before I let y'all in the business. So boom, right? To let y'all in the business, but not to let y'all too much in the business. Yeah, I was talking to a couple of people, right? Boom. So every single time I would talk to somebody and something would go wrong, I would immediately be like, "Oh, girl, no, he's cut." You know what I mean? Like, girl, no, he's cut because he didn't follow through with this, and this, or girl, no, he's cut because he said this, and I really wasn't messing with it, or girl, no, he's cut because he looked like this, like, girl, no, he's cut, 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 girl, he's cut, he's a goner, and I realized my sister said something to me one time. It was one of these boys that I was talking to, and basically he did something that to me I just really wasn't messing with. Now, mind you, we have been talking for a pretty long time. Things have been pretty good between us. You know what I'm saying? Like things that were going very well, but it was just something that I felt like he just dropped the ball on that I just really was not messing with. And I felt like immediately I was just like, girl, I don't got time for that. He about to be cut. He's about to be cut. And I was like, he's about to be cut too if he don't get it together. And my sister was like, well, first things first, did you talk to him about it? Did you tell him how you feel about it? And I was like, no, because he should just know. First red flag. You're assuming that somebody should know where you're coming from. If you have never given that person a chance, because we're all humans, okay? So if you've never sat down and tried to give that person a chance to explain themselves, if you've never tried to get down to the nitty gritty of what's really going on, and you're just immediately like, whatever, cut, then how perfect are you? Because I'm seeing all these misperfections in the steps that you're taking to cut this person off. You know what I mean? You're not even giving anybody a chance, or you're not even giving that person even a chance to make it up to you. You're not even giving that person a chance to really show that they're for you. You know what I mean? Like things happen and progression happens. And the only way a real relationship or a friendship could work is if things go wrong, you see how they're able to get themselves out of that issue and out of that problem. But if you're immediately cutting them off once they have a problem, then what work is really being done? What work is really being done on their end, number one, but number two, especially on your end, what better understanding are you really getting from that? And how are you going to be able to move forward in any type of friendship or relationship with anybody else if you're immediately just cutting the person off and going to the next? How is that going to work? And so, y'all, my sister said something to me. She was like, Jaya, I'm not even going to lie. You consistently use yourself as a weapon. And I said, ooh. I said, girl, hold on, wait a minute. Whose side are you on? I said, hold on. I said, wait a minute. Whose side are you on? Because baby, you're supposed to be on my side, okay? You're supposed to be like, yep, cut him out, girl. Leave him on, kick him to the curb. I was like, hold on, wait a minute now. She was like, you are constantly using yourself as a weapon. She was like, if you really want to be, or if you're saying that you want to be in a relationship with this person, it's kind of just like things are going to happen in a relationship. And granted, yes, he made a mistake this time, but if you didn't even give him the chance to even fix that mistake, or if you didn't even give him a chance to, work on himself, or y'all didn't even get a chance to even work on conflict together, you're already trying to dip out before the conflict even arises. How are you ever going to be able to accept your blessings if you're trying to avoid anything from happening? How does that even work? And you're using yourself as a weapon because you're like, if you don't get it together, then I'm out of here. What kind of actual work is that person going to get done? Because the only thing they're going to do is quickly try to make it up to you instead of genuinely trying to be like, well, you know what work can actually be done? How can we talk this through? Now, granted, I'm not saying for all my cutoff queens out there, honey, I hear you. I'm not saying, oh, this person keeps dropping the ball on you. We got to hear them out all the time now. Hold on now. Okay, you got to know when and where to be a cutoff queen. Okay, you gotta know when and when's the time. Okay, because there are times when you genuinely have to cut it off. Like it's done, you gotta let it go. But I'm talking about during those premature phases, and I'm talking about during those times when you're letting your anxious attachment style come in, when you're letting your fear of engulfment come in, when you're letting your protective mechanisms come in. Okay, I'm using big words here. When you're letting your trauma reenactment come in, okay? When you're letting your need for control come in, when you're letting your powers over other come in, that's when you got to take a step back and understand that it's not all cute and fun and games to be cut off queen, honey. You're battling something. You're battling something, okay? And I know for me, y'all know I've opened up about this before. on my podcast on season one. If you haven't got a chance to listen to season one, honey, take a listen, honey. I've opened up to the fact that the real reason as to why I felt the need to be a cutoff queen is because I've been let down so much in my younger life. And I've had to learn how to be so independent. And I've always had to pick up the pieces that if anybody ever let me down, before anybody could ever even get the chance to, before you could even think, before you could even think about letting me down, you was out. And I always thought that that was the best way to go because I was like, hey, nobody's letting me down. Like, I'm good. I used to always do that because I realized that nobody used to ever pull through for me when I was younger, or nobody, as in my father. Let's just get real, Judd. Lord, I'm struggling already to be vulnerable. Basically, my entire life, I was raised by a single mom. And I'm the oldest. So, child, if you know, you know. Okay. And with that, a lot comes with that. And my father was not present in my life, and he would always make certain promises to me that he wouldn't keep. Um, and so I would always kind of have to like pick up the pieces from that. So I would always be like, you know what, I know he not gonna follow through with it. So now I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Or he'll always say all these things, not even just promises, but he'll just say so many things and not do it. And it was just like, dang, like, okay, here I go again. Like now I gotta, you know what I mean? And I always used to tell myself when I get older, like if anybody try to play me, if anybody try to say anything to me, or if anybody try to get me like this, like you're cut. Because I didn't have the ability to do it with like my father, because obviously it was my father, but I ended up cutting him off. He's a goner. But I'm just saying, um, I um I didn't have the ability to do it when I was younger. So I was like, I'm not ever letting anybody ever get me worked up, because I used to get so sensitive when my father used to do it to me. Like I used to be like so distraught, and I used to be like, dang, like how could he do this to me, his child? Like what in the world? Like, you know what I mean? I just didn't understand it. And, you know, I didn't realize that I was never really trying to allow myself to really feel those emotions. I just wanted to cut it off immediately. And so even after, things progressed after my father, it was hard for people to be in a relationship with me because I was not allowing it. Like I did not want anything to ever get me out of my element, because if it did, it would trigger me and then I would feel sensitive, and I didn't want to show my sensitivity. I didn't want to show any emotion. I didn't want to show any of that because I felt like if I did, then somebody would take advantage of me. And so I just wanted to cut them out quick. But I didn't realize that that was actually a rejection of sensitivity that was coming from trauma from my childhood. That was me. Basically, the sensitivity was causing me to perceive certain things that were non-existent, or even if it was existent, I wasn't trying to work through them because I didn't feel like I wanted the time. I didn't feel like I had the space to do it, and I didn't feel like I wanted to do it. And so I did that, but I did that so that but I did that because I wanted to self preserve before I can get hurt. That's what I wanted to do. But I didn't realize that in the end, I was hurting myself because I was moving on to the next one and still feeling hurt. So then I was trying to, keep it all to myself and try to pick up the pieces and rebuild myself to only, again, not work on unresolved issues. So I'm moving on to the next one, and the next one, I'm going on to the next one, and to the next friend, and to the next partner to see who's going to fill that hole in me. But it was all unresolved work. And I'm just running from hurt. You know what I mean? And it all just came back to the sensitivity of just childhood trauma. Another crazy thing about when it came to me being a cutoff queen was also my trauma reenactment. So that was basically me. I've had a history of trauma with people dropping the ball on me. I've had a history of, people not really following through with things. And so I automatically, the first thing that I did was avoid them. But I think my trauma in that was that when I tried to move on to, relationships, I was in a fearful, avoidant mindset. So I would desire the closeness. I would want the love because I didn't feel the love, and I would want somebody to be there for me. But then at the same time, it was a push and pull because I was so scared that if something bad happens, I couldn't deal with it because I never had to deal with it because I never wanted to deal with it. So it was this push and pull dynamic with that trauma there, because it was just like I want it, but not enough. Because if it's too much, then I might get hurt. So I got to cut it off, and I got to cut it off quick. And that's just so toxic. Like, who wants to live like that? Like, who wants to be trying so hard to avoid something from happening that you're hurting yourself in the process? Who wants that? And let me tell you something, honey. Like I said again, it's okay to identify when you are cut off queen. Because again, you got to understand when it is good to be it and when it's not good to be it. Because I'm gonna let you know something right now. I did just cut the man off. I just cut somebody off a couple of days ago. Now that one had to happen though. Okay. That one had to happen. But I'm a genuinely actually allowing myself to feel the emotions this time instead of just moving on to the next thing and things like that. Like, I really can commend myself to just say that I really genuinely worked hard for this and I put my all into it. And I'm happy to say that I allowed myself to feel hurt through this process. And the crazy thing about it is that I'm so proud of where I am today because I realized, and this person even pointed it out to me, like, I'm scared of things getting real between us because I'm scared you're gonna try to leave me every chance you get when something goes wrong. And I was like, I had to really take a step back and be like, dang, this is a constant problem that I've always had within myself. And I know I've had it in my friendships, but now that it's being pointed out in like a real deal, like relationship, something that's really like starting to form and progress, I want this to actually work. So what do I need to do about it to actually change? Because not only do I want to change for them, but I want to change for myself because I'm tired of feeling the need to avoid something so quick from happening to me. I don't get a chance to ever really feel those emotions. So am I ever going to be able to feel real love if I'm trying to avoid it all the time? You know what I mean? And so, girl, he called me out, girl. He called me out. He was like, I'm scared of anything progressing between us because I'm scared you're going to try to cut it off when something goes wrong. And I said, ooh, you got me there. I said, you got me. You got me there. You got me. You caught me red handed. And that's okay. And that's okay. I'm gonna work on it. And what did I do, y'all? I'm so proud of myself. Round of applause for your mother. Your mother's gotten into therapy. Y'all know I've been talking about therapy for a while now, but I finally found a therapist and I'm finally doing the work because I had to realize it's deeper. It's so much deeper than me just being a cutoff queen and y'all not finna play with me. It's more than that. It stems from trauma. It stems from avoidance. It stems from me not being able to deal with my emotions. Like, I had to really do some work because if I want to be where I want to be next year or wherever, if I want to be where I want to be, I got to deal with this stuff and I got to deal with it now. I'm getting too old. It's too many excuses. It's not enough time. I got to deal with it and I have to deal with it now. Okay. And children, you have to deal with it now. The first things first, in order to to make real change, is identifying it. So identifying it, you're already on the right path. You're there. Now we have to put some work on it. You know what I mean? And again, it's good and it's bad things of being cut off queen. I had to eventually cut this person off, but I'm so happy. I feel so, like, when I tell y'all that I feel so actually good about this cut off this time, because then the other times I was just like cutting them off to avoid, but I never got a chance to really feel the issues and the emotions. But with this person, I really gave this person my all. And at least I could say before I cut this person off, at least I could say that before I cut this person off, that I gave them my all. And that's what my sisters were challenging me. My people, my loved ones were trying to challenge me. They was like, Jaya, make sure you really put your all into this so that you could say you did everything that you had to do and it just didn't work. And it's okay that it didn't work. I had to be okay with allowing something to not happen for me. I had to be okay with just feeling my emotions because I never did. And it's only prepping me for something bigger and better in my life. So stop trying to avoid it from happening, because the more you avoid it from happening, then the more God's gonna be like, well, then, baby, you're not ready. So you're avoiding your blessings. You know what I mean? And so I immediately was just like, you know what? No, I want to make sure that if I'm gonna leave this person that I'm with, I need to make sure I said I put in my all. And one thing I could say, honey, I did what I had to do. Okay, I did what I had to do. So now the ball was in that person's court to make sure that they did what they had to do. And if they didn't, then I did what I had to do by cutting them off. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what that is, child. So, girl, I got my therapy session scheduled, honey, for the 27th. And I'm so proud of myself. Like, honestly, like, I really was just like, ooh, it's funny because the first time I got into therapy, I did not want to follow through with it because I was like, child, she getting too deep. I don't got time. Girl, I cut her off. I cut the therapist off. I say, Lord have mercy. I got a problem. So now I am back on it again, almost like I don't even know, girl. I haven't been in therapy in a minute, but child, finally, I'm back at it again and I'm going to follow through with this because real work needs to be done in order to prep me for real life things happening, in order for me to see true success within my life, honey. And that's all we're trying to do, children. That's all we want. So I'm here with you. This is what this is all about. We're here to do this and we're here to do this together. Okay, so for all my cutoff queens, honey, put in that work. Put in that work so you can be a healed queen. Do what you got to do. Okay? That's what it's all about. So, anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night right now, honey. I think I pretty much said what I needed to say. Keep messaging me, y'all. Like I said again, keep sending your child chats in so that we can have more things to talk about, so that we can have more advice, so that we can have more chats, so we can have more girl time, more children to mother bonding. More mother to children bonding. That's what we need, honey. So I need y'all to send me in them child chats. You can message me on Instagram at childplease.amd. You can message me on my personal Instagram at DJAlexis. Or you can send me a little comment through the YouTube channel at Jaya Brown. Okay? So I love you guys so much, children. Ya Muva is out. And hopefully I don't cut off nobody soon. Love you. Bye.